Pleasant good morning to you all. I am Dr. S. Lakshmi, Vice Principal of Vidhya Giri College of Arts and Science. Chokalingam sir.
Yes ma'am, yes ma'am, tell me madam.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes ma'am, your voice is audible
Okay.
madam.
We will coordinate with you sir. Faculty
Yes.
members, kindly you please check up whether all of them have joined. Kindly coordinate with us. Within 5 minutes we will start the program. Inform them to join immediately. From Vidyagiri School, Karaikudi, Puduvail School. College also concerned head of the department can check your faculty members whether all of them are present. From Karaikudi Vidyagiri School, any one faculty member can acknowledge us whether all of them joined. Sir, Vice Principal, sir.
Madam, good morning, madam. Sri Vidyagiri Puduvail. I'm
Sir,
sending
whether
first
all of them
CV.
have joined. Sir.
One or two members only joined, madam. You can
Sir,
start.
kindly intimate them to join the group immediately, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you, sir. So from Karaikudi Vidyagiri School. Ma'am, Karpoli, ma'am.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am. This is Sriram, ma'am.
Sir, kindly you please check it up your faculty members whether all of them have joined.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm checking only, ma'am.
Kindly inform them to join immediately, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Karpoli, ma'am, from college.
I hope from college almost all have joined. I hope so, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, shall we start ma'am? Let them join. So already we around 80 participants join. Shall we start
Okay, sir,
already
you
time?
can go ahead. Okay, sir, you
Yes,
can go ahead.
yes
Okay,
ma'am, yes
thank you.
ma'am. Okay. A very pleasant good morning to one and all gathered here. So this is day 2 regarding workshop on modern pedagogical tools for research and students. So yesterday our resource person Dr. Periyanayagai ma'am and Mr. Arun Kumar covered a little bit about active learning methods and learning management software, especially hands-on they provided in Canvas. Today we'll continue the same little bit things, especially quiz formation, everything in Canvas, and then they will move on to online teaching tools to engage the students actively during the class as well as post class. So straight away over to Arun Kumar sir. So you please go ahead sir. Arun sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Ma'am,
Sir, can you stop? Yes, sir.
Arun only presenting, madam. Arun will stop. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Stop.
Yes.
Periyanayagai, ma'am.
Yes, Arun sir.
Ma'am, shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah, you can start.
Or you want to give a brief discussion, ma'am?
Ah,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Yes, okay.
so today's day 2 session will go like this. Actually, we stopped with yesterday's canvas. That canvas will be continuing, and few parts in canvas, that is discussion session, other things will be handled now, and then we'll move on to active learning activities, and then we'll move on to online tools to make the students engage in the online platform. So that is how today's agenda goes. So now I hand over to Mr. Arun Kumar so that we can handle the session. So Arun Kumar sir,
Yeah,
you
thank
can
you.
go ahead. I'll
Yes, ma'am.
stop
Yeah,
sharing.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, good morning, all teachers. So we'll continue with what we have learned yesterday.
Very good morning.
Is presentable. Yes. So we saw related to Canvas yesterday is that how to create a classroom in Canvas, and followed by how to upload files or modules, or how to create a modules, and then we saw about how to create an assignment for student, and how to create a rubrics for an assignment. So I'll just once again, based on the request from the participants, I'll just once again start from how to create a rubric for assignment. So creating a rubric for assignment is simple. So once again, I'll just give a quick glance on how to create a rubric for the assignment. So this is what the assignment which we have created yearly. So for creating an assignment, a rubric for assignment. So what we have to do is that, so I have created an assignment. So now after viewing the assignment, at the bottom, you can see this rubric symbol, plus rubric. So you just click on this plus rubric. So now you can see what are all the criteria which we are going to consider for evaluating the assignment, and what is the range of mark that we are going to give. So the purpose of rubric is that we have to give clarity to the student how we are going to evaluate an assignment, and additionally we are going to give an input indirectly to the student that there is a transparent evaluation in the assignment. There is no any partiality based on the students. So this is what the purpose of creating rubrics and evaluating an assignment based on the rubrics created. So for example, you consider you may have different criteria to assess an assignment. So for example, you may consider the timely submission of the student, you may consider the presentation of the students. For example, if it is going to be a mathematics or whatever it may be, so how many number of problems the students are going to that is solve. So we would have given a 10 problem and given a time limit for the students. Certain students would have submitted 8 problems, many students would have submitted 10 problems. So there will be a lot of criteria which you want to create for your assignment, so that the assignment will be evaluated in a transparent way. So I just give a small glimpse how to create a rubric and how to evaluate it. So for example, for this assignment, I am going to consider one of the criteria to be timely submission. I have given the deadline for the student, so submit it 1 week from the date of assignment is given. So I'm going to create the criteria. The first one is you have to pick this edit option. You have to give the description. So in description, you are going to give what aspect or what is the criteria you are going to create or you are going to consider for evaluating the assignment. So the first one is timely submission. You can give certain long description. The student have to submit so and so date. So whatever it may be, if you wish to give a long description, you can give, or else you can just leave it blank and you can click this update criteria. Now you can see the criteria have got updated. Now coming back to this ratings. So now you want to give marks on 3 aspects. If the student is submitting on time or before deadline, you want to give 10 mark for the student. And if the student is submitting a day delay from the deadline, you want to give 9 marks. A student who is submitting a day delay or up to 5 days from the deadline of the assignment, you are going to give 8 marks. And for the student who are going to submit after 5 days, you don't want to give marks. So whatever it may be, so you can create certain mark variation and you can create your own rating. So for example, for this assignment, I'm going to give the weightage for timely submission to be 5 marks. Okay, or you can even change your marks also. So I'm just going to edit it. You can edit this score in this area. You can give it as a 3, or you can give it as 10, or you can give it as 5, whatever it may be. So what is the weightage you wish to allot, you can give to that particular criteria. So for the timely submission, the first one is you can give full marks or whatever the title it may be. For example, if the student is going to submit on time, I'm going to give a comment that excellent. Now the rating description. So now a student have to understand for what I have been given 5 marks. So now you are going to write the description. Submitting the assignment on or before deadline. So this is the description. So if a student is going to submit the assignment on or before deadline, you are going to give 5 marks. And then next one is if a student is submitting a day delay. So initially or defaultly they will be giving only 2 ratings. You can add the ratings by clicking this plus symbol. So now the second rating that I'm going to give is 3 marks. So for example, you can give some comments. So if a student is submitting a day delay, so you are going to give a comment that you need improvement. So now the rating description. Submitting a day delay from deadline. So now you are going to update it and you can see the updation here. Now the third one, or if you want to create 4 ratings. So now I'm going to create an additional one. So now here you have already given a need improvement. Now you can give another comment. For example, say unsatisfactory. Submitting 3 days delay from deadline. So whatever the description it may be. So for time being, I'm typing this. So you can see the description here also. Now the last one is that you don't want to give mark to the student because he is not submitting even after deadline, that is after 3 days of the deadline. So for example, you can give poor. So now here you can see if the student is submitting after 3 days of deadline. So now you are going to update it. Now you can see a criteria has been created here. In a similar way, if you want to add some more criteria, you can also click this plus criterion button, and then now you can see another criteria. So here, I'm sorry. So here you can see the new criteria. So here you can give the description. For example, it may be the presentation of the student. So you are going to, if you want to give weightage for the student presentation, you can create the presentation. In a similar way, you can click the ratings here also. So in this way, you have to create the rubrics. And for using this rubrics towards final assessment, that is for evaluating the assignment, you have to click use this rubric for grading the assignment. And now you can click create the rubrics. Now you can see the rubrics has been created, and in student view you can refer how the student will be able to see the rubrics for the assignment. So this is the description of the assignment, and here at the bottom the student can able to see what are the criteria for which the assignment is going to be evaluated. So based on the criteria I have given, the student will be understanding this is what the expectation from my teacher, so that I am going to satisfy all the criteria given by the teacher and I'm going to submit. If I will be doing the same, I can get the maximum mark, so that we can ensure that what is the expectation in the assignment from the student, and also we can make sure that the student is believing that the assignment is being involved with the transparent evaluation. So this is how we have to create the rubrics. Now I'll show how this rubrics is going to help us towards assignment submission. I have leave the student view. So now I'll just open another classroom in which I have used the rubrics for evaluating the assignment. So here it is. So this is the assignment. So once if you are going to click this assignment towards this right side, as I told earlier on the previous day, you can see how many students have submitted. If you wish to evaluate the assignment, you can click this option speed grader. Only if you have created rubric, you can go for this speed grader, and you can see the submission of student one by one. So here you can see the submission of the first student. If you want to evaluate the next student, you can pick this arrow, or you can pick this down button, that is a pop-up button, and you can choose the student for whom you have to evaluate. So now see, for this assignment, here you can see the option view rubric. I have already evaluated, so the mark is getting displayed here, and also this assignment rubric is getting displayed here. If you are going to evaluate for the first time, you will be getting only the option view rubric, and you will be seeing a blank box here. So once if you are clicking view rubrics, you can see what is the rubric you have created. So now I have given a weightage of 4 marks for timely submission. You can see who all have submitted late also. So here the student have submitted on 16th. Okay. So if you want to, if a student is going to submit a day delay, or some day delay means we can refer to the here in the submission area also. In the submission area, you will be getting a notification that it is a delayed submission. So here the students have almost submitted on time, so I'm not getting that notification. If any student is going to submit a day or even an hour delay from the deadline, you can see, you can get a notification submission is delayed. So with the reference to that, you can adjust the mark accordingly. So now I am going to consider the student to be submitting a day delay. So you can click this tab. Or if you want to, if a student is submitting 3 days from the deadline, you can click this. Or if a student is going to submit after 3 days, you can click this. So accordingly, you can see this mark is getting varied. So creating this rubrics, this makes us our evaluation also so simple. So while creating an assignment, if we spend some time for creating this rubrics, while evaluating the assignment, it will be an easy task for us, so that we can evaluate all the student assignment in a quick basis with a transparent evaluation. So all the criteria, it is being displayed here, and based on the criteria, I have given the description, and based on the student submission, I'm going to see the student or read the assignment of the student, how they have submitted, and based on that, I'm going to evaluate here by giving the mark with respect to each criteria. So this is how the rubrics can be created, and it can be used for evaluating the assignment. So hopefully now I had made better clarity with rubrics, whether it is okay for all, so that I can move on to the next task.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. So the next one, we can move on with the quiz. So obviously for 12 students, if I am right, in the final exam, they are also having quiz with certain marks. I think if I am right, 10 marks weightage is for quiz. So in that, you can give practice for students in this Canvas classroom also. So here, once if you have clicked this button quizzes, you can see the option plus quiz. So here I haven't created any quiz so far. So I'm going to click this button plus quiz. So I have created the quiz. You can give name for your quiz. So for example, quiz 1. So you have created. Now you can give certain instruction. So for example, a student have to attend the quiz with respect to certain time limit. So for example, if we have created 30 minutes of time. So in every question paper, we used to give the instruction for the students. In a similar way, if you want to give any instruction for the students, you can write the description here. So for example, I'm going to give be prompt in attending the quiz. So in a similar way, you can create or you can give the quiz instruction. Now you can choose whether your quiz type can be a graded one or a practice quiz or graded survey, ungraded survey. So as for us now, we'll go with this graded quiz. So if you want to grade your students, you can go for this graded quiz. Now whether you want to make it as an assignment, yes. So obviously if you are going to make it as an assignment, it will be reflected in the overall grade of the student, which I have opened already and shown you yesterday. So now the quiz, we are going to see the other option. So for example, if all the students are attending in their respective homes, you are having generally having a problem. If one student is getting the right answer, he may share the answer with his fellow students. So for that, you can create a time limit and you can shuffle the answer, and even you can shuffle the questions also, so that the student, all the 30 or all the 50 students will be getting the same order of question. So that option is also there with this Canvas quiz. So you can set a time limit also. So if you want to give the time limit as 30 minutes, you can give 30 minutes. And if you want to restrict the student with one attempt, you don't need to click this multiple attempt. Or if you want to enable the student with multiple attempt, you can click multiple attempt. And if you want to keep the score, for example, in the first attempt, the student would have chosen a wrong answer, and in second or third attempt, he would have chosen the right answer, so that the score will be increasing. So you can set which mark we have to consider. So whether you want to create the highest mark or latest or average. If the student is having 3 attempts, if you want to take average, you can choose the average. If you want to take the latest one, because in the first attempt, the student would have scored a maximum mark. How a student would have get an answer from his friend, and you are suspecting the student have got answer from his friend and he had scored a maximum mark. So now you want to keep the same test for the same student with as a separate test for him. So now if you are going to keep the test and now the student have scored the actual mark based on his knowledge, means you can choose this latest. Or if you want to give the highest, you can pick the highest. So you can restrict the number of attempts. You can give 1 or 10 or whatever it may be. So whatever the chance or whatever the wish, you can give the number of attempts. And then here you can see the options. Let students see their quiz response. So the incorrect questions will be marked in the student feedback. So the student will be seeing the feedback of their answer. So when they want to see, only once after each attempt. So each attempt அப்புறம் ஒவ்வொரு தடவையும் ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் ஒரே ஒரு தடவை மட்டும் அவங்க ரெஸ்பான்ஸை பார்க்கலாம். இல்ல நீங்க தப்பான ஆன்சர்ஸை உடனே அந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் பார்க்கணும்னு நினைச்சீங்கனாலும் you can give the option here. So even you can set the time limit, because you would have created an assignment for grading purpose. 30 minutes time will be there. A bright student, if he completes a test within 15 minutes, in the next 15 minutes he may share the answer with his fellow friends, so that you can restrict the students to see the correct answers after completion of test. So here you can choose at what time the students can see the answers. So that option is also there. And then you can even see, so one question at a time. So if I'm going to create 10 questions, if I'm going to click this option, one question at a time, the student will be seeing only the first question. Only after attending the first question, he will be able to see the second question. In that way, you can make some changes. And also, you can see, lock the question after answering. So, for example, as student, you are going to shuffle the questions for every 30 students. So, at the last 5 minutes, somehow the students are able to the right answer. And if they are sharing the answer in there, I'm sorry, yeah, and if they are going to share the answers, means there you can restrict the students by locking the questions. So if I am the student X, I have attended question number 1, and after submitting the answer, I cannot go back to the question number 1 to answer it again. So in that way you can restrict. And then next one is quiz restrictions. You can even filter the IP address. You need access code. So these are all some other some restrictions, so that if you want a student to attend only with one IP address, because a student may attend either by his laptop or mobile phone. So in that way, if you want to restrict the students by IP address, it is possible in our institute. So if the students are going to attend the quiz within the institute, you can choose that option also. And then as usual for assignment, how we have created, at what time we have to assign the quiz, in a similar way, you can create the due date. So for example, this is May month, I'm going to create the due date as 19, and the quiz will be available from today. and the quiz will be available today. So for example, if it is going to be a 30 minutes test, you can restrict the time. So for example, if I'm going to keep it at 1 p.m. So here the quiz will be available from 1 p.m. and until, if you want to restrict the quiz to be attended within 30 minutes, you can give the restriction here. So 1 minute, that is 1 hour 30 minutes. So here you can see only the question will be available only for 30 minutes. So after that, the student cannot send the question. So now if you are going to save, so log date cannot be before due date. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I have given it 19. So accordingly, you can change the due date as well as the log date. So now I'm saving. So now the quiz is saved. Now we have to feed the question. So you can once again go for this edit option. So after creating all the details, once again it will be going to the same one. So just to ensure whether you have created all, you can save this. And once again, if you are going to click that edit button, the same page will be open. And towards this detail, the right side of the details, you can see the questions. So now here you can go and add your questions. So new question. So I just give question number 1. So it can be a multiple choice question. You are having multiple options. It can be a true or false, fill in the blanks, fill in multiple blanks, multiple answers. In a similar way, lot of options are there for students so that we can create this quiz option. So for as far as the time concerned, I'm going with the multiple choice, and even you can explore these options also. So multiple choice question. So now I'm going to create. So what is the capital of Tamil Nadu? So for example, let this be the question. So now here you can type the answer. So the second option is Madurai. So if you want to add another answer, you can click towards right. You can see, you can click this, add another answer. So in a similar way, you can choose multiple options. You can give as many as options. And now what is your task is that you have to create which is the correct answer. It is not restricted that you have to type the correct answer in the first box. So you can type the option and accordingly you can change the correct answer. So for example, if I'm going to type Chennai here, I can pick this arrow to be the correct option. Or if I'm going to type arrow for correct answer. And these are all the other possible answers. So now I have created, this is the correct answer. Now I'm going to click update the question. So the question number 1 is updated. Now, if you want to add further questions, you can see this. Once again, you can click this new question. You can type for question number 2. In a similar way, you can choose multiple choice or whatever it may be. So I'm going to give a true or false for the second question. Trivandrum is capital of Kerala. So now defaultly you can see the true or false is here. So now the option is true, so I am leaving it as such. For example, if I'm going to type Cochin is the capital of Kerala, so it is a false answer. You can click false. So in a similar way, you're going to update the question, and here you can see further options are also there. So if you want to create as many as questions, once after creating all the questions, if you want to see the question details, you can have the detailed view of the question also. So you can refer. So before publishing, you can just refer whether you have typed all the question and the correct answer is properly marked or not. You can refer it here. Towards left, you can see the correct answer. And finally, after creating all the question, you can just click this save and publish. So once if you have saved and published, now once again for reference, you can go back to this quizzes. You can see the quiz 1, it is created. So this quiz will be available to the students only after 1 p.m. and it will be available until 19th of May, 11:59. So the total points is here, number of questions is there. So this is how we have to create quiz. So there are a lot of other options also there. So you can refer to it. I'll just show what is the other option I have created for my own classroom. So we have conducted the internal test for the students through this what to say, through this Canvas quiz. I'll just open and show you. Open. Yes, it got open. So here you can see the internal assessment test. So here even you can include images also. So this is the question. So I can go for the preview. So in the preview you can see the questions, how it is being typed. So the question number 1, and if you want to see towards end, I have included images also in the question. So I have given see here the following product can be protected under which IP. So here you can see I have inserted an image. So with the reference to image, the student have to write or pick the proper option. So even you are having that options also to insert an image, to insert formulas. If Max faculty members, you have to create an assignment, you are having a Max option, that is mathematical notations are also there. So as I saw early in assignment, so you can insert formulas and Greek words or Greek symbols. In a similar way, mathematical symbols can also be included in quiz questions, so that you can create quiz for Max questions also. And even if you want to stimulate about quiz, so the quiz creation is as similar as assignment creation. So here, as you have already picked which is the right answer, the Canvas itself will be evaluating and giving the score. So where to see the score of the students? You can once again go back to this grade, and here the list of students will be listed here, and there you can see the score of the students in all the assignments as well as in all the quiz that is being created. It is getting loaded. So once it is getting loaded, I will be showing it. Yes, the grade book is opened here. So you can see assignment quiz, assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, and internal assessment test. So here you can see out of 60, the students have scored. This is the mark. So in what aspect I am getting this decimal mark is that for few questions I have picked multiple answers. So there will be two possible answers. I have given 4 options, and student have to pick all the possible answer. If he is picking only one option, means he will be getting 0.5 mark. If he is picking all the 2 possible correct answer, means he will be getting the full mark. In that aspect, I have got this decimal value in marks. So this is all about the quiz creation in your Canvas classroom. So this is what the aspect of this quiz. And then regarding your attendance, if you want to take attendance, for example, you are using this Canvas regularly, and for example, you have missed out your logbook or you're registered somewhere else, suddenly you want to take an attendance. So you are also having this option, attendance option. So if I'm going to click this attendance, all the students will be getting listed in this attendance. So who are all the enrolled students, you will be getting attendance. So defaultly, you can see the date. If I'm going to open it on 18th of May, 18th of May will be there. And if I'm going to open it on 17th of May, the 17th will be there. And now you can defaultly mark all the students to be present. And once, if you want to take, you can, if you want to go by roll call, means you can call all the students and accordingly you can mark them as present. Or if you have noticed 2 or 3 students have got option, so you can mark all as present, and then in certain students, so for example, if Bowman, he is absent, means you can go for this more option, and you can absent or mark him as absent. So now you can see the option is the student is got absent. So this way you can store the day-wise attendance also through this Canvas classroom. So now I want to download it. So how to download it? So you can see this options near to the settings. This drop-down menu is there. Attendance report is there. So from which date you want your report. So for example, if you want it from 16 or 5, so here the end date, for example, 16/5. If you want based on student, individual student, you can type the student ID, you can get the attendance, that is attendance of the individual student. Or if you want the attendance of the entire classroom, you can run the report. So you have to click the run the report. So, and here you can see, thank you, your report should arrive in your inbox shortly. So probably it will be taking around 10 to 15 minutes for this attendance report to coming into your inbox in your email ID. So I have already created the report. I just show you the report which I have created yesterday. So here you can see the roll call. So I have received the mail from Canvas as a roll call. So here you can see this link. If you are going to click this link, you'll be getting the roll call attendance. So there is some error, and for time being there is error. So if you are going to click this, so you'll be getting the attendance, and I'll show how the attendance will be looking like. So this is the attendance report. So I have already downloaded, probably for that it may show that. So here you can see, so what is the SIS course, you can see the course name, and if you want to see the student name, here the student name will be there, and the class date. So if you want to get the date of attendance for 15 alone, if you are going to pick 15 in that calendar option, you'll be getting the Excel sheet only for 15. So now I have given it for 15 and 16. You can see, first I will be getting the attendance for 15, and then I have got the attendance for 16. So in a similar way, if you want to get the attendance for the forthcoming days also, you can pick the entire option. And now, if you want to see the attendance of individual students, obviously you can go for find and search. If I want to see the attendance of Karthikeyan B, then I can search as Karthikeyan. You can see Karthikeyan, or you can go for this filter option. So you can go for this filter option by picking this tab. So here I can choose. Here I can choose which student. So Akash. So if I'm going to click OK. So 15, what is his attendance? 16, what is his attendance? So in this way, we can get the attendance also through this Canvas classroom. So I have given an input related to Canvas, how we are going to upload files, and how we are going to create an assignment, how we are going to create a quiz, and how we are going to create a rubrics for evaluating an assignment, how we can get the attendance of the students. And obviously I have already shown you in last class also. So how can we see the active engagement of the students in our Canvas classroom? Just by clicking the people option, you can see how long the student have actively used this online LMS. So here you can see the total activity hour by individual student. So how many hours the student have got access towards this Canvas classroom, and how effectively they are using the Canvas classroom. So these are all certain insights which we want to give related to Canvas. And there are also further more options are there, like discussion, announcements. So this we can use once the students have got regularized. And if you want to discuss related to any topic, so that so for example, if you want to see a discussion, I'll just show you in an example. So here you can see I have already created a discussion. So by clicking this option plus discussion, you can choose on what title you want to have discussion with the students. So obviously, as I am having a WhatsApp group for my 25 students, I have used WhatsApp for discussing related to certain case studies. If you are not having any WhatsApp group to discuss with your student, so you can use this discussion option, so that if you are going to post, so for example, I am going to create a topic XXX. I have given the instruction or what discussion we have to have within this forum. I have given the explanation, and here you can see the other options. Allow threaded replies. Threaded replies in the sense means, if I have created a discussion, X have commented, and if Y want to comment on X, then the threaded replies can be allowed. And similarly, if you want the student to see what others have commented, and if you want to restrict only after commenting, you can see the others comment, then you can pick this option. So in a similar way, a lot of options are there. And as like creating an assignment, you can choose this and you can save and publish so that the discussion forum will be created. So now that we as a teacher and as a student, we can have a regular discussion on it, and even you can have a graded discussion as like quiz as well as like what to say, this assignment. So to begin, we can go with the other common option like what to say, this attendance and then quiz, assignment. These aspects can be covered initially, and once after we as a teacher and the student have got familiarized with all the remaining options, then we can go for this discussion and announcement. So if, for example, if you want to announce students related to, if you want to give certain announcement related to your students, it may be like an internal test, or you have posted a video link. So here you can see the announcement. So same like discussion and assignment, you are going to click this create announcement. You can give the topic, you can write the description, and you can create it and save. So this is how we have to use this announcement option. And hopefully I have given almost clarity related to all the options related to Canvas, so that we can use this Canvas at a basic level. Initially, probably you may feel certain difficulty or uncomfortableness while using this Canvas, and once if you are getting practice with this, you'll be finding this Canvas to be more user friendly, and you can even monitor your student even in your within your what to say, if you are not available in classroom, even if the students are somewhere else, you can even see how the students are engaging towards the subject by seeing the engagement of the students in people option. So hopefully I have given clarity what I have that is related to this Canvas classroom. If you have any clarifications or if you need further more input, you can just unmute and ask so that I'll be able to clarify if any clarifications are there.
Sir, when you're looking for the attendance, the list is automatically created when students are joining.
Yes, ma'am. So actually, the attendance list is based on the students who have accepted the invitation. Okay. So if your classroom is having 30 students, so if all the 30 students have accepted this invitation, then in the attendance, all the 30 students list will be there.
Okay.
So it is always advised or to ask the student to rename. So because usually we used to take the attendance based on their alphabetical order, so that if we are asking the students to type their name, and there in the attendance list also we can see the order of the students in alphabetical order.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Arun sir, I am having one doubt here.
Yes, sir.
On daily basis,
Yes,
we will get report. On daily basis, for example, student has to engage in Canvas account on a daily basis. Is it so?
It is not like that, sir. If you want to see the other analytics also, we can go for this new analytics. So you can see how far the students have engaged. That is the total activity hours can be seen through this people. And if you want to see the detailed analysis, you can go for this new analytics. So here you can see the analysis of individual students also. So let it get loaded. So you can see the course grade, and you can see weekly online activity, because we'll be having what to say, a duration of course will be for almost 6 months or 1 year or 3 months. So if you want to see how far the students have attended, you can see this also. So if you are going to click this, so what is the total number of average page and how many pages have been viewed by the students, in these graph also you can get in a weekly aspect also. And if you want to see the student report also for individual student, so in week basis how the student have used, so what is the number of participation, how many views have the student have made. So even in this aspect also, we can view the student participation. So here you can see the average course grade also. It is 76.3. That is, for all the 25 students have got a consolidated grade is displayed here, 76.23. So this is how we can see the activity of the students on a daily basis or a weekly basis or as a whole.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So hopefully no more clarifications if I believe, and if it is okay, now I'll handle the session. Periyanayagai ma'am.
Yes, sir. So thank you, Arun sir. Actually, one of the advantage of this canvas is whenever you are giving a discussion, announcement, or creating a quiz, once you are publishing it, it will automatically generate an email and it will be giving an alert to a student so that announcement has been created, a discussion has been created, a quiz has been created, an assignment has been created. So immediately whenever you are publishing it, automatically alert message will be going to the students. So that is also another advantage of this canvas. Once we are creating a discussion or announcement, there is no need to send any reminder. It will automatically go to his email ID. So that is also another advantage of this canvas. Any clarification needed related to Canvas so that we can move on to another online tools to make the students active during the online sessions and also offline classes.
No, ma'am. It's clear, ma'am.
So we can move to the next part. So the second part of the session is active learning methods. So you all know that in the current generation students, as research says, only we have class for 15 minutes, 45 minutes, and or an hour. It depends on the school to school, organization to organization, institution to institution. So, but basically, human brain will be concentrating only for 20 minutes. After that, we have to give a break, and then we have to make the student active. So that is why it is called as active learning methods. That doesn't mean we have to take the student out of the classroom and then bringing to him. For example, telling about any latest current affairs. Those days, we usually, our teachers usually do that. They'll crack some joke. They will tell current affairs. They will tell some morals, values in the middle of the classes. Nowadays, this generation students, we have to make them active by involving them in learning. While you are involving them in learning, automatically the classroom becomes dynamic in nature, and there will not be one-to-many communication. The students will automatically be involved in learning. Automatically, our agenda will be achieved. So such activities, so these are some of the activities which can be conducted in offline mode. First, I'll explain about offline mode, and then we'll move on to online tools. So some of the few there are many active learning methods. Some of the few active learning methods are 1 minute paper, class poll, think, pair, share, exit clips, visible quiz. So these are the few activities. I'll tell each and everything how to conduct. If I'm telling you have to conduct an active learning method, ma'am, is it possible to complete the syllabus? Sure, it is possible, because we during this course, I told, we had an experiential learning. We have done this activity, but the activity should be planned well in advance. Without any planning, if you go to class and just instantly if you are giving and all, it will not work out. Automatically you can't complete the syllabus and you can't complete the task. You should, as a teacher, you should plan well in advance what you are going to do, and the topic should not be outside your topic which you are going to discuss on that day. So you should be very clear before you go into the class. Well in advance you have to plan what activity for I'm going to plan for tomorrow's class when I'm entering the class, and the activity should be conducted only to 2 to 3 minutes. You should not waste any time more than 2 to 3 minutes. So you can plan at least 1 or 2 activities. One activity is more than enough for a class. Instead of taking attendance, you can use this kind of activity for attendance also, attendance purpose also. So we'll see first what are the various active learning activities. Again, here also I have listed only few: class poll, random name picker, role play, mind map, animated videos, fishbowl listening, simulation tools, e-videos, 1 minute paper, 0 minute speech, quiz dominoes, brainstorming, think pair share, crossword puzzle, bus session, visual quiz, exit clips, hardware demonstration. So these are the activities. Again, there are n number of activities. If you just put in Google active learning activities, you will get n number of activities, and they have clearly given how to conduct such activity. Just I will give a few. I can't say all these things. Only I can say about few things. How to conduct a 1 minute paper activity. So it can be conducted at the end of the class. So for example, you take a class or starting of a class, whatever it may be, or middle of the class, nothing, no issues on it. You can plan a 1 minute paper for any topic. It can be conducted mostly. It would be better if you are conducting at the end of the class. And clarification, if the student has written, most of the students, if you are for example, if you are taking a topic and you are asking a question, you just ask the student to take a bit of paper. That's all. That is for 1 minute paper. In 1 minute, he has to answer for that question. So that is why it is called as 1 minute paper. So you ask him to take a bit of paper, or you yourself take a paper. A4 sheet can be cut into 4 pieces, and you can give it to a 4 student. You can take the papers and you can go and distribute it. Just you tell him to write here his roll number or register number or name, whatever it is, no issues on that. You just tell the question, or you can write the question on the whiteboard. It is not necessary to have a PPT. You can write the question, whatever topic you have discussed, you write the question related to that and ask him to answer any important concept. So if he is able to recall and answer it correctly, then you can come to a conclusion that yes, if after going to your place, you have to see all the answer, whether he has correctly written or not. If he is correctly written, then you can have a satisfaction. Yes, my delivery for today's class is okay, because my students are able to answer. It is not necessary. It is one question for 5 minutes. How many questions you can ask, but he should be able to complete the task within 2 to 3 minutes. That's all. You have to conduct this activity within 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes at the maximum. That's all. So instead of go and taking the attendance, calling him by roll numbers, you can, at that time, you can utilize for this. So both learning can also happen. You are automatically you are involving the student in learning process. So this is one of the activity. Coming to the next activity, what is think, pair, share? For example, for each desk, the two students will be sitting together, right? Again, for a topic, whether you have learned already. For example, we'll take a topic like this. In maths, if you are going to teach multiplication, he need a base for addition also. So how to perform multiplication can be performed using additions also. If you want to teach multiplication, you can teach using addition also. This is an example just I am telling. So for example, if you want to recall how to do additions, you can ask them to do this activity. Think, pair, share. Whatever a prerequisite, which a concept which he have learned already, but we are going to use it now. That type of activity can be conducted by using think, pair, share. So first he has to think how to perform an addition. Then he has to pair with his neighbor. That is a person in a desk. Two persons will be sitting together. They have to sit together and they have to think. That is pairing. And then they have to share their thought. What he thinks about this and what he thinks about a concept. And then you can ask randomly in each row, you can ask one pair to get up and share their views on it. And again, I'm repeating, the topic or the concept should not be out of your topic which you are taking on that day. It should be highly related to particular topic, or the same topic which is related. Outside the topic. First, you should make the student to think, then ask, then ask them to pair, and then share the thoughts, and then you ask each student to get up from a row and you ask them to share their thoughts. Finally, you summarize. So this is another activity which is called as think, pair, share activity, TPS. Coming to next is this actually we have conducted so that I have given a photo. It is called as visible quiz. You can create some quiz questions. Whatever topic you are going to discuss in today's class, you can create at least 4 questions. You can see here in each row, 2 students are sitting. You can combine 4 students as one group. For each student, you give one letter. For a student, for this student, you give letter A. For this student, you give letter B. And for this student, you give letter C. And for this student, you give a letter D. And you can have a quiz question option with A, B, C, and D. And then you can tell the write the question on the board, or else you can show as a PPT. No issues on that. Whatever the correct option, for example, if A is a correct option, the person with A card will raise the hand. A person with B card will raise the hand. A person with C card will raise the hand. A person with D card will raise the hand. Whatever option is there. So, if most of the teams are answering correctly, you can come to a conclusion that yes, our class, in today's class, he has learned something correctly. For example, if half of the class is raising the correct answer and half of the class is giving wrong answers, in that time itself, you can clarify, or else you can ask, instead of option A, if they are showing option B, you can ask one of the students of that group to get up and ask why you are showing that option B. What is the reason for showing that option B? Then automatically he will explain and you can clarify this is not the case. So that is why option A has been selected. So, so that all the students can have a clarity on that day class. So by using this type, again, it can also be conducted within 5 minutes. Everything, if you are planning with going with a proper plan, you can execute it within 5 minutes, and you know you can feel the success story. As I told, when you are experiencing such things, you can feel the success story. You can make cards. Once you make these cards, you can use for any number of quizzes. So for a week, you can conduct a quiz, visible quiz. You can conduct a class poll. You can conduct a 1-minute paper. You can conduct a think, pair, share. It is not mandatory to daily conduct an activity. At least for a week, you can conduct twice. 2 days in a week you can conduct activities, so that automatically the student will have enthusiasm. They'll be eagerly waiting. What our teacher is going to do today's class, what activity she will give, like that they'll be excitedly waiting, And I realized, as I already told, of my around 15 years of experience, after doing such activity, I implemented this for a problematic paper. After conducting such activity, students start automatically they approached me friendly, and they automatically came and share all their thoughts, and they will listen whatever I am telling. Everything happened. So really I felt the difference what by these kind of activities. And when I collected a feedback, they gave a very good feedback. Madam, next semester also you come to our class for taking some other subject, like that they gave a feedback. So that is our success story. So if we are, but we have to put some efforts. Young teachers, young generations, if we are putting some efforts, definitely they will automatically love the teacher. In turn, they will love the subject. They will automatically study. So this is another type of activity, that is 4 corner 4 question. Again, in blackboard also you can write 4. You would have heard 4 cups, right? The students will like to do 4 cups. You ask the student to do a 4 cup, and you make them to remove that 4 cup, and for each question tell them to answer. For example, I have given order of the Chebyshev filter formula. That day class, I took a Chebyshev filter, and I created this 4 questions, and they answered. In the 4 corner of the 4 cups, they will be answering like this: for Chebyshev formula, number of poles, and S plane to Z plane mapping, and what is the why direct form 1 is better than direct form 2. So they have answered correctly, and they have given the paper. So these things can be done in offline mode. So they'll get impressed, because all the 4 concepts are very important. If my student are strong in this concept, automatically he can solve the problem, which is a 16-mark question or a 20-mark question. So I wanted to make the student to be strong in the concept. So I conducted an activity that is called as 4 corner 4 question. So like this, if we prepare, and just for everything, a bit of paper is more than enough. For example, how to conduct a class poll. You can again create a question. Now I have created, how do you rate our presentation today? Sad, okay, satisfactory, good, excellent. So this is how he can click whatever image he want. You can click, so that automatically you can get a feedback. So that is called as class poll. It is also yesterday also I conducted a class poll. How many of the students like modern teaching today? 0 to 25%, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100. For such things, you can use class polls. So next is, till this, I have discussed about offline active learning activities. Any clarifications or doubts in here, so that we can move on to online tools?
No, madam, clear.
No, ma'am. Clear.
It's clear, ma'am.
Is it possible to conduct such activities?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Just it is our efforts. That's all. If you put some efforts, they will automatically get involved in our classrooms, and they will automatically like us, like our subject. They will automatically learn. You can feel the difference. Next is, we can move on to the online tools. How to create a class poll, how to create a open-ended question, how to create a word cloud in menti.com, poll everywhere, Quizy, crossword puzzle creation, and virtual lab. These are the things what we are going to discuss today. So for menti.com, everything are openware. No money is involved anywhere. You can use it when you are taking your online class. If you are putting your PPTs, You can just put a link. How yesterday I conducted? I conducted one question from menti.com, one question from Poll Everywhere. Now I will teach how to create that. Just if the students are clicking that, they will automatically able to answer. As a student, you realized yesterday. But now, as a teacher, how you are going to create, I will teach now. So for menti.com, just in Google, if you type mentimeter.com, so you'll get the first tab like this, www.mentimeter.com or menti.com, whatever it may be. Here, since I have logged in already, here also you can create an account. That is like a Canvas, you can create an account, or simple Google account, you can create an account. If you want, I'll show how to create an account. Just log out. You give, so it will ask login with Google. You can automatically log in with your Google account. No need to create a login ID or anything. If you have a Gmail account, you can automatically log in. You have to open your Gmail account. Gmail account open, if you mail open, just menti.com kulla ponga. Wait a minute, I will log out and then I will log in and show. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So first, go to this first tab. Just you give login. If you want to create, you have to give sign up. Or else, if you have a Google account, just you give login with Google. Automatically, it will go. Any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
Just in
No,
Google,
ma'am.
you have to create Mentimeter and simply log in with Google. You will go to that particular website. Now, my presentations. For example, if you want to do an activity today, you click new presentation. You give a presentation name. For example, for any topic, modern teaching. You can give your presentation name, create a presentation. So you will get a tab like this. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Here in the right side, you can see you have a multiple choice question. You have a word cloud. You have an open-ended question. You have scales. You have ranking. You have question and answer. You can select any one of it. If you choose a multiple choice question, you can type your question here. For example, can anyone tell a question and an option? Whether I can check all are active or not. Kindly tell a question and 3 options. Any question? No issues on that.
Structural and functional unit of cell.
Sir?
Fundamental unit of an organism is?
Fundamental?
Unit of an organism.
Unit of an organism.
Option A, cell.
Organism. Option
dash.
1,
A cell.
cell.
B option tissue.
Tissue.
C option organ.
Organ. If you want and one more option also, you can add here. Any option you have to add, sir?
Organ system.
Organ system. So like this, you have created. So fundamental unit of an organism, cell, tissue, organ and organ system. So once you have created, you can use உங்களோட ரிசல்ட் வந்து பார் சார்ட்டா இருக்கணுமா, இல்ல இந்த மாதிரி டோனட் இருக்கணுமா, இல்ல இந்த மாதிரி பை சார்ட் இருக்கணுமா, இல்ல இந்த மாதிரி டாட் சிம்பிள்ஸ் இருக்கணுமா, எப்படி வேணாலும் நீங்க சூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். So here I have chosen bar chart. If you want to show your correct answer, you can click here. If you want to show your results in percentage, you can click this option. Let participant choose multiple options. இப்போ ஒரு ஆன்சருக்கு 2-3 கரெக்ட் ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கலாம். அப்போ அந்த டைம்ல you can choose this. That is, let participants choose multiple options. If you want, you can give. Otherwise, you can leave it. So once you have created a question and with an option, இந்த இடத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா share அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கும். அதாவது ரைட் கார்னர்ல you will have once first you have to type your questions, you have to type your answers. எப்படி உங்களோட ஆன்சர் வந்து வியூ ஆகணும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க பார்க்கலாம். இப்போ if you give share, then you will get a voting link like this. இந்த இடத்துல just நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும், காப்பி லிங்க் கொடுக்கணும். அந்த காப்பி லிங்க you have to put in your chat box. That's all. You can have any முன்னாடியே பண்ணி வச்சுட்டு just அந்த லிங்கை வந்து chat boxல போடலாம். If you people click the link, you will be able to answer. And then so that's all. Just you copy the link. Now you from the chat box you can answer. Then what you have to do, if the students want to see your answer, you have to give present. That's all. Kindly audience, you answer for this question. And the menti.com click பண்ணி நீங்க just answer பண்ணுங்க. That's all. This is how you can create a class form. இப்ப ஆன்சர் பண்ணோன்னு பாருங்க, அவங்க ஆன்சர் பண்ண ஏன்னா நம்ம பெர்சன்டேஜ்ல கொடுத்திருந்தோம். இங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த லெஃப்ட் கார்னர் பாட்டம் கார்னர்ல எத்தனை பேர் ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னு வரும். That is 4 participants have responded till now. So like that, you can see how many students are active in your online classes. We have received 8 responses. So in the madri, you can see how many students are actively participating, and you can tell if you are answering in the Mentimeter only, I will give attendance for today's class. Otherwise, your attendance will be 0. No, I will give. I'll mark absent. Then automatically they will start involving in your classes. Yes, we are receiving 12 responses. I think we have around 87 participants, but only we are receiving 12 responses. Just if you are using your mobile also, you go to chat, click that link, automatically it will take to Mentimeter, you can answer. It is not necessary to have a system or a laptop or any other thing. So if you see 15 responses, 17 responses. So as the responses increases, you can visualize. So you can show these things to your student also. If you don't want to show, and the present அப்படிங்கிற பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ணலைன்னா உங்களுக்கு மட்டும்தான் அது தெரியும், அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாது. That's all. So this is how you can click you can create a poll question in Mentimeter. Next, if you want another type of question, add a new slide. Again, you can use a word cloud. இப்ப word cloud என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, for example, what is your ambition in your life? What is your ambition in life? Entries per participant. ஒரு participant ஒரு entry மட்டும்தான் கொடுக்கணும். If you want, you can add any images here. Let participants submit multiple times. No, only there can be only one ambition for a participant. Again, go to share, copy the link, put it in the chat box. Ask them to answer. Then you give present. Kindly answer for this question. Anything you can type, so that it will become a word cloud. You can visualize. Once if your participants are answering, just you click the link and answer for this question. What is your ambition in your life? Data scientist, be a good teacher, best teacher. So once if your students are starting answering, you can see how it is forming a word cloud like this. A good academician, become a good professor. So you have received 9 responses, 11 responses. Scientist, resourceful teacher, nurse. Any answer, it is not necessarily to be a teacher. Be an excellent teacher. Be a good teacher. Value-based educator. So like this, you can visualize what your students are answering, and you can see how many students are active in your class in the online mode. So this is how you can engage using mentimeter.com. Any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Whether it is clear? If you
Yes,
want,
very clear.
you can download your results from here also. There is an option, so that it will be downloaded as your PDF, and you can keep it for your committees or any further references also. You can tell them we have conducted such activity, the students are engaged through this online methodologies, etc. It's very simple. You have to choose the option. Just you can add a slide. You can choose the option like this. Any open-ended question. Yesterday I gave you an open-ended question. What are the problems you faced? That was an open-ended question. So just simply you can click the option, give the options, share. You will be getting copy link. Just you have to copy that link, put in chat box, and then give present. That's all. It is very simple. You can create this a day before itself and keep the link. And the link ready. You can share with your participants so that they can easily access it. So this is about mentimeter.com. Any doubts? Shall we move on to poll everywhere? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Same thing, poll everywhere. Just if you click in the Google first tab, it is also very simple. If you want, you can. I log out because I have logged in already. If you click login, here also you have an option, sign in with Google. Same account. Same thing, just like Mentimeter, here also you have. Here it is new activity. You can choose if you want multiple choice question, that is class poll, word cloud, open-ended question, like this, question and answer, open-ended question, whatever it may be, you can click the questions and you can put the answer. Any multiple choice question? Anybody else can give a question? Apart from Sendil sir?
In the classical macro system, ma'am.
In the classical
Macro system,
comma,
money determines options, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Here you can add text, image, URL, anything.
Okay,
Employment.
Real output is the second option.
Real output.
Third one is A and B.
You can give add option.
Yes, ma'am.
Both
A and B.
Yes.
D, ma'am. Neither A or B. Neither
A and B.
Neither A or B. A or B.
So here also simply you can create a question. So you have to give create. Once you have created, you will get the question and the options like this. Here one thing you have to do is you have to activate. இந்த இடத்துல என்ன பண்ணனும்னா activate அப்படிங்கற ஆப்ஷனை நீங்க கிளிக் பண்ணனும். Then in the left side you will have three options: configure, test, present. You go to present option. அதுல share and embed னு இருக்கும். அந்த share and embedல if you come here, you will have poll EV page. You have to copy this link. Just you have to copy this link and same option. Just you copy and put in chat box. என்ன பண்ணனும்னா நீங்க வந்து இதுல ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம் மறந்துட கூடாது. activate அப்படினு கொடுக்கணும். activate கொடுத்தாதான் அது வந்து activate ஆகும். And show your responses அப்படினு already enable இருக்கும், so that the responses can be viewed by your students. So once if you click, please answer for this question. So automatically you can see the responses. அங்க வந்து ஷேர்ல போய் காப்பி லிங்க் கொடுக்கணும். இங்க வந்து பிரசன்ட்ல போய் poll everywhere பேஜ்ல காப்பி லிங்க் இருக்கும். Just you have to copy it and you can put in the chat box. So automatically they can answer the question. Here also you can create word cloud, class poll, open-ended question, anything. It's very simple. If you just give full screen view, the participants can view the screen. Very simple. By seeing this such activities, do you think these are very tough to implement?
No, ma'am.
இதெல்லாம் நம்மளால பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? கிடையாது. ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு 10 minutes டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணோம்னா போதும். அன்னைக்கு என்ன கிளாஸ்ல என்ன டாபிக் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போறோமோ அது ரிலேட்டடான ஒரு ஆக்டிவிட்டி போட்டு 20 minutesக்கு ஒன்ஸ் அவன் ஆன்லைன்ல ஆக்டிவா இருக்கானா இல்லையா, தட்ஸ் ஆல். இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி தான்ப்பா உனக்கு அட்டெண்டன்ஸ், இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி தான்ப்பா உனக்கு இன்டர்னல் மார்க் அப்படின்னா he will automatically, and he should not know when we are going to give this activity. ஒரு நாள் வந்து ஸ்டார்டிங் ஆஃப் தி கிளாஸ்ல கொடுக்கலாம், ஒரு நாள் மிடில் ஆஃப் தி கிளாஸ்ல கொடுக்கலாம், ஒரு நாள் எண்ட் ஆஃப் தி கிளாஸ்ல கொடுக்கலாம். அப்ப நம்ம எப்ப கொடுக்கறோம்னு அவனுக்கு தெரியாது. சோ all the 1 hour of class in the online, he will be active. Just over 10 minutes now, we can change the strategy. So next is, now I hand over the session to Arun Kumar sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Like this, he will explain IUCEE.com, crossword puzzle creation and VLAN.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wait, sir, I'll stop my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Arun.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So once again, so the next one is, sir, what we are going to see is quizzes.com. So it is also related to what we have seen in Mentimeter and the other one. So in a similar way, we can create quiz for the students and we can make them to actively involve. So for example, if we are, for example, you are asking a question in a classroom and few students will be answering and few students may not answer. And if you are going to appreciate the students who are answering, such that very good, excellent means the other students who are having hesitation to answer will also get being motivated to answer further. In a similar way, we can create certain quiz in this quizzes.com in which we can identify which student have answered in a better way. So it is called as a leaderboard, and through that we can motivate the students, and based on that viewing that ranking or the leaderboard, the other students will also be getting engaged towards answering the question. So I'll just show you how to create the quiz in a quizzes website. So just you have to type in Google as quiz is QUIZ quiz, and after that IZZ. So you can see this quizzes.com. So once you are clicking, you will be getting this home page, and as usual, like Mentimeter, you can sign up through your Google account. So here I'm going to sign up with my Google account. So continue with Google. So I'm going to continue with my college email ID. So now I have open. So here you are going to create the quiz for your students for the specific class. For example, if you are going to conduct an online class today, you can create the quiz in a prior. So for example, if I'm going to handle a topic X today, so I will be creating the questions related to the topic which I'm going to handle today, and at the end of the session I can poll the question so that I can understand who are all the students have got better understanding and who are all the students haven't got better understanding. So in that way I can categorize the students. So this is the home page you'll be getting. So now how to create the quiz. So here you can see create quiz. So you can name the quiz. So for example, capitals. So here you can choose the relevant subject. So if you are going to handle it for physics, you can choose the physics, chemistry, biology, whatever it may be. So now I'm going to use it as a general questionnaire. So I have put as an other option. So now I'm going to click next. So what you're going to do is that you're going to choose the option create quiz. You're going to give the name. You're going to choose the relevant option for your respective subject. So as my question is not going to fall in any of the subject, I'm going to choose other. For example, I can choose geography because it is related to capitals. So now I'm going to click next. So now you will be having various options, whether you want to go with a multiple choice or check bars, fill in the blanks, poll, open-ended question, or create a lesson. So lesson in the sense, you're going to create a continuous series of slides. So now I'm going to create a multiple choice question. So this is where you have to pick the question. So for example, for time being, I'm typing the question. Once again, I'm using the same question. Capital of Tamil Nadu. So here you can insert the image also. So you can click image, you can choose the image. So for example, I have already downloaded the image of Tamil Nadu. So I'm going to open it. So here it will be getting uploaded, and after getting uploaded, you can click the done button. So here you can see how the question will be getting appeared for the students, capital of TN. So I'm going to give the option. So Chennai, Madurai, Coimbatore, and then I'm going to give Varsava. So the correct option have to be clicked here. So now I have created a question. I have given the option. I have chosen the correct option also here. If you want to add furthermore option, you can go for add options. So else you can click this save button. So once you have saved, you will be getting the consolidated display of the question. So if you want to create 10 questions or 20 questions, whatever it may be, the list of questions will be getting displayed here. Or if you want to search a question which is already available, so you don't want to include a question, you just want to refer to a question which is already been created, then you can choose this option. I'm sorry. So you can choose this search option. So here I'm going to type capital here, capital of Indian states. So this is the search I'm going to give. So here you can see the list of questions which is already been created by some other person who is already using this quizzes.com. So capital of Indian states. So I can choose any one. So you can see lot of questions are there. So here you can see how many number of questions are there. So in this questionnaire there are 20 questions. So you can directly add the questions by clicking this option add. So now I have added this question. Now I'm going back to my page. So here you can see I have added the question. Similarly, I have added this question. What is the capital of Mexico? So if you don't want to don't add that question, means you can just click the delete option. The question will be going off. So this is how we have to create the question. Now, how to make the question to be published, or how to make the question so that the students will be answering. So here at the right top corner, you can see the option publish. So if you want to give any name or image here, so you can add the image. For example, I am giving this play the quiz open. So I have just created. So you can choose the grade also, from which standard the students can answer, or it is up to you. So, and you can choose the option also whether you want to make your quiz to be privately visible, or it is visible to everyone. If you want to give your questionnaire to be public and visible to everyone, so here I have made a search capitals of Indian states. In a similar way, if your title is being typed on the search bar, you can find your question listed on that search options. So somewhere else, somewhere some other people can search your question and they can use it. So now I'm going to click save. Yes, now the question is saved. So you can see the question is being asked here. So these are all the questions. So now if you want to see the question which has been already created by you, this my library. So I have already created a question of 6 questions. I'll just open it here. In my library, you can see the list of polls that you have already created. So these are all the questions created by you. You can refer it here. So now I'm opening this, which I have created for you, and I'll show you how the leaderboard will be looking like. So here you can go for a live quiz, which means if you want to conduct the class or the quiz when the class is going on, you can choose this start a live quiz. Or if you want to assign it an assignment or a homework, you can choose as a homework. So now I'm going to give it as a start a live quiz, because we want the students to be active in the class and we have to understand how far the students have understood it. So while creating the question, you can also have an option. So for example, so once again, going back to the same one. So here you can see what is the time you are allotting for each question. So this can also be framed when you are creating the question. So at the bottom corner, you can see the time option also, because if it is going to be a class goal, you can't give much time for the students so that they can take their own time and take the quiz. So you can assign time limit for each and every question. So now I have given the time limit as 20 seconds. Now I'm going to give start a live quiz. So here I have chosen the classic mode. So this is how the screen will be getting displayed. So now I request you all to type this code. So whether it is possible for you all to type this code. So what you want to do is that go to Google and go to Google and type quiz. So you can choose the home page. So here I'll be getting my own login page. So there you can type enter the code. So here you can see the option enter the code, and in this enter the code you can enter the code which I have already created. So I'm once again going back to that for school. So the classic one, continue. So this is the code. So you can see the options also. If you are going to have it in a Google Classroom, you can see the classroom also. Or if you want to copy the URL, and probably it is a URL, I'm pasting it here. You can choose this option also. So you are having either way. Either you can go to this link, or you can ask the student to directly open quizzes.com, or you can share it to Classroom or Teams or through Canvas. So once if you are getting an upgraded version, you can go for this Canvas. So now for your convenience, I have pasted the link in your chat box. So here you can see how many students have already joined. You can see one have already joined. I request the other participants also to join. So here I can see how many have joined. I request the participants to join in this quiz classroom. You can open in your chat box, and in the chat box I have given the link. You can click the link and join that. As I can see 5 have joined. It will be asking your name, in what name you want to join the classroom. So you can ask the student to enter their name or roll number, whatever it may be, which will be your better convenience. You can ask them to join, and here as a teacher I can see how many of them have joined. So here I can see almost 12 have joined. So for this time is constrained, I'm just starting the quiz. Until all the students are joining, you can wait so that everyone will be joining, and then you can start the quiz. So I'm assuming all the participants have joined. So 16 have joined. For time constraint, I'm going to just start. So be ready with your mobile phone or your device. I'm going to start the quiz now. I have started the quiz. Now it will be showing the display as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So the first question will be, you can choose and type. So you can click the arrow towards your right. The last one is the map of Madhya Pradesh. Sorry if I am, if you are not able to see in your mobile mode, the map which I have shown is Madhya Pradesh. So hopefully you would have enjoyed this. And even in this game, what we are getting is that based on the time you are taking to submit the answer, you will be getting an additional option so that you can once again come back and answer the question which you have answered in a wrong way. So this is the leaderboard. So here you can see the toppers are Karpavali ma'am, Kumar sir, Aishwarya ma'am, and then Muttatal sir or madam, sorry, and then Veera sir, you have came to the top. So here you can see as a live how the students have gone to the top position. So this makes the students to be more engaged, and they'll be able to see that how their involvement is there. So here you can see how the students have participated. So after clicking this end, you can wind up the quiz. So at the end, you can see who is the topper. So TCL followed by Veera and Karpavali. Now you can appreciate the students. So this is how we can make the students to be more engaged with this quizzes.com. So this will be like a game, and the students will be getting more enthusiastic because they can lively see how they are moving on to the top of the table. So in that way, the students will be getting engaged and they'll be actively participating in this quiz. So at the end, you can see what are all the correct answers every individual student have answered or not. So in that way, you can also assess what for the students or how the students have involved. So this is an advantage of this quizzes.com. So hopefully you got clarity about it. Shall I move on to the next site, madam?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Now we'll move on to the next one. There are a lot of other tools are there. For example, you can just Google it. So what we used to practice in our institute is that we'll be going for this crossword puzzles and other word search games will be there. This makes the students to identify. So because we used to see in வாரமலர், so ஒவ்வொரு வாரத்தோட எண்ட்லயே வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா நமக்கு ஒரு குறுக்கெழுத்து போட்டி அப்படின்னு இருக்கும். So அதை கம்ப்ளீட் பண்றதுக்குன்னே நமக்கு ஒரு இன்வால்வ்மெண்ட் இருக்கும். In a similar way, we can create a crossword puzzle for our own subject also. So you can just type this crossword lab. So crossword lab அப்படின்னு டைப் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you can see this site. இதை நீங்க கிளிக் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா ஒரு ஃப்ரீ crossword கிரியேட் பண்றதுக்கான ஒரு சைட் ஓபன் ஆகும். So here at the right they have given the instruction. So எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிற samples கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, and here you have to create the crossword puzzle. So once again I'm using the same terms, capital. So இங்க என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கான instruction, enter the word, a space, and then the clue. So the question has to be at the end, and towards first that question there is an answer has to be. So for example, once again I'm going with the capital, so Chennai. So this is the answer. I am just typing space, and right I'm going to type as capital of Tamil Nadu. So if I'm going to enter it, bottom you can see the crossword is getting created. So now I have to choose another option. So I am going with another question. So here the capital of Tamil Nadu is Chennai. So I'm going to choose another answer which starts with C. So I'm going with that is Raipur, Chhattisgarh. So this is the answer. Now the question is, Raipur is the capital of. I'm going to enter it. So now you can see at the bottom the puzzle is getting created. In a similar way, related to our subject, you can make the crossword puzzle related to the concepts, because if in a midterm test or in a unit test or a class test or in a final quarterly or half-yearly exam, there are chances for student to mug up the answer and they will be reflecting in the answer sheet. So if as a teacher I want to really assess how far the student have understood the concept, so the conceptual questions can be asked through this game. So if you are going with any mode of questions, the student sometimes they may feel fed up with that question and answer like that question. So if I'm going to ask a question and I'm asking the student to answer it, there are chances for the students to get fed up. So what this teacher is always asking question and she is asking me to answer or he is asking me to answer. So in a similar way, as a different approach, we can create this crossword puzzle. So in a similar way, after creating, you can go and click the option save and finish. So now the puzzle is created. So what we have to do is that we have to click the button share. So here you can see the URL. So I'm going to copy the URL and just for time being, I'm just directly going to this other site. So consider I'm the student. You have shared the URL. Now I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to enter it. I can see this. Now I have seen the question capital of TN across. So that is from left to right. So I'm going to click this answer. I'm going to type Chennai. Now the second question is Raipur is the capital of. So for example, the answer is Chandigarh. I'm sorry, Chhattisgarh. So if I'm going to write type as Chandigarh. So you can see it is marked as a red one, and here you can see the cross mark. So even if the student is typing a wrong answer, now we are giving an option for the student to open the book and search the correct answer. So now we are able to give a platform for the student to open the book and find the answer for the same. So in this way, we can engage the students. In a similar way, there are a lot of other tools also. So for example, in Google, you can go for this puzzle.org. So in puzzle.org, there are almost 12 puzzle type questions out there. So you can either go for this crossword puzzle, you can go for create a word search, you can go for a create jigsaw memory game. So a lot of the types of puzzles are there. I'm just opening the website and showing you all, and you can in future you can open and explore and use this platform for creating games, so that these games can be conducted for the students on a conceptual base, and after the classes are getting over, we can make the students to engage through this gaming aspect. So still lot other sites are there. I request Chokalingam sir to display the consolidated list of gaming.
Yes, sir.
Stopping the presentation. I request the faculty members, you can take a screenshot or a photo of it so that you can explore to those sites, and if you want to create a game, you can refer to the sites and create a game so that we can make the students to actively engage in our subjects. And once after that,
Arun sir, we'll send through email also to them.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
We'll send the video recording and this email also. You can show now.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Sir, in the meantime, before showing that online one more thing I want to add here is that random name picker can be, we can show a trial here, sir. That may be useful for all of the teachers.
Sorry, sir.
Can I, that random name picker, sir? Can I go ahead with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Just a minute, I will share my screen. So, in addition to both of the sir as well as ma'am presentation, we have one more tool is also that the random wheel. So, random wheel is nothing but in order to engage the students actively during the online class, what you can do is, so you can call the students on a random basis. So, just a minute. So, you can go for Google random wheel. So, a lot of websites are there. Here I can go with first one. So yesterday for our students we conducted model lab. So like options are there. So we can put the names of the students here. Okay. So then we can spin it. Okay, similar to a game. So it will stop somewhere. So this particular student have to answer the question. So likewise also we can engage the students during the classroom. Okay, so this is nothing but random name picker. So in addition, as sir said, we have a lot of tools. So during time constraint, we can be able to cover only very few things. So in the meantime, we will mail you the same. So here there are 17 online tools are available. So we will mail all those things. So I hope Arun sir, it is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir. You can kindly zoom it, sir.
Yeah, just a minute, just a minute. Yeah, now it is okay.
Yes, sir, fine, fine.
So
These
most
are
of
all
them are
the,
very simple. Yes, yes,
yes,
go
sir,
ahead, go ahead, sir, go
yeah.
ahead.
So
No,
these
sir,
are
no,
all
sir,
the
please go ahead.
various online tools, sir. So here through these tools, we can create lot of games related to our subject, so that we can make the student to be engaged towards our subject. And obviously, as one of the question, ma'am asked that is one of the poll. So what is your aim in your life? So most of us have answered that to be a best teacher. In that way, we have answered. So to make that true, for this Zzen students, we can use these online tools so that the student bonding between us will be it will be in a better way, and the students there is a bonding towards the subject also, we can make it in a better way. So obviously, if we are going to use these kinds of tools, we can make the students to be more engaged towards the subject, and we can get a better output to this through this subject. So, and then last, for time constraint, I'm just opening you, or I'm giving an additional input to you all. So obviously we know that for the past 1.5 or 2 years, all the students are facing the problem with the practical classes. So how to engage a student with this practical classes is that we are having a Ministry of Education have introduced a virtual lab. So virtual in the sense that is in an online basis, we can open this lab. So just in Google, you can type us VLab. It is the initiation of
Arun
Ministry.
sir, Arun
Sir,
sir,
share your screen.
share
Yeah,
your
yeah, I'm
screen.
sharing. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sharing my screen. Sorry. Yes. So in Google, you can just simply type VLab or virtual lab. So you can open it. It is an initiation of Ministry of Education, Government of India, along with IITs and other reputed universities across India. So here you can see the various broad areas of virtual labs. So for engineering, as well as certain labs will be applicable for school students also. So here you can see this physical science or chemical science. So I just open it. So in physical science, you can see the different labs: molecular interaction lab, advanced analytical chemistry, solid state physics lab, and at the bottom you can see modern physics lab. So who is the creator of this virtual lab? So all those details have been given here. So if any of your topic in your subject, if it falls under any one of these labs, so if I am going to create this molecular interaction lab, here you can see the list of experiments. So these are all the various experiments. So for if any of the topic is going to be falling under this any one of this experiment, you can open this experiment and you can explain the concept with this virtual lab, so that the student will be having a better understanding. So what you have to do is that for certain lab exercises, you no need to have an account for this virtual lab, and most of the exercises it will be asking you to create an account, so that after creating an account you can use this a list of experiments, that is experiments for your concept explanation. So here in virtual mode, obviously we can use this virtual lab platform to explain the concept for the student, so that they'll be able to understand the concept in a better way. So it is also another additional platform. So if any of your topic in your subject is falling under any of this lab, you can explore it and you can create an account and you can use the experiment for giving a better clarity for the students. So this is all about virtual lab. Thank you. Ma'am, if anything is to be added, ma'am, sir, you can add.
That's all, Arun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So hopefully we have made the day 2 also in a better way, so that you have got a better insights. So with this, we would like to conclude, and if we have any clarification related to what we have discussed in the past 2 days, you can, the forum is open for question and answer.
Any clarifications, any doubts you can ask so that we can clarify. hope this session was very useful. Somewhat, what all we know, we have discussed. Due to time constraint, it is not minimum. அதாவது கட்டது கையளவு கல்லாதது உலகளவு இன்னும் நிறைய இருக்கு. But whatever we know, we have told. I think we have told 50%, and another 50% is there. Due to time constraint, we are unable to share with you.
Ma'am, this is Karpagvalli from Giri College of Arts and Science.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, first I registered my sincere thanks to our principal and the organizers of RIT for this wonderful workshop on the pedagogical tools, ma'am. Actually, the style and the knowledge of the presenters are just amazing, and it's very clear to us, and there is no clarifications for at all. So kindly send the PPT, ma'am. Today's
Yes,
PPT.
ma'am. Today's PPT we will send, ma'am. Recording also we will send, and what are the online tools, everything we will send to your email to your principal, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other feedbacks? Because through feedbacks only we can improve on it, our presentations.
Definitely, ma'am. On behalf of our staff members, definitely we will incorporate all these tools in the academic year, coming academic year.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank
It will be very useful in NAC also, ma'am. In NAC, they are asking innovative teaching method. Teaching learning process, we have 350 marks. In that, we can show these things with proof and all. They'll really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Madam, can I propose the vote of thanks, madam?
Wait, sir. Somebody is waiting. Padmavati ma'am
Yeah.
and Lakshmi. So,
Yeah.
It is
Yes,
very
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
yes.
Your presentation is very clear to us. We understood very well, ma'am. It's highly useful to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I am Dr. S. Lakshmi,
Yes.
Vice Principal of Vidhya College of Arts and Science. On behalf of the management, principal and faculty members of Vidhya Group of institutions, I am going to extend my thanks